So when I see Trinsey versus Pagliaro, it's like you said, I'm glad you brought that up. Because, see, I guess that's what's good to have people on these calls, man. Because somebody asked me that too a while back, and I forgot. I said, no, you don't put anything like Trinsey or anything else like that in there, because Trinsey actually says, summary judgment cannot be granted on the basis of statements of fact in the moving party's brief, even though they are uncontroverted by an opponent. Trinsey versus Pagliaro, supplemental 647, it's on page 649. But it says summary judgment cannot be granted on the basis of statements of fact in the moving party's brief, even though they are uncontroverted by an opponent. All it's basically saying is, if you and me, Dallas, were disputing something, and I said, well, I'm suing you in Houston court, where you live near Houston. So I'm suing you in district court somewhere in Houston. And I say to the court, I demand a judgment based upon the fact that my opponent would fail to answer. The court said, no, we're not going to give you a ruling just because your opponent failed to answer. So it has nothing to do with Trinsey versus Pagliaro. So this is what I actually found in the court case in 1973. So I said to my sister, I said, before I use Trinsey versus Pagliaro, I am going to run down to the law library. I'm going to actually find this book from 1964 from Pennsylvania, and I'm actually going to read the whole damn case. It's only 2 pages long. It goes from 647, 648, 649, in the 229th volume of the Federal Supplemental. It's going to be found starting on page 647, and what the quote that everybody uses is on 649. So now I got 2 different versions of what this quote is. I've only seen Trinsey used one time in any federal court prior to 2008, when people started spouting about it on the internet. So if I could really find one case back in 1973 where somebody relied upon it, I'm going to be very careful. And it only came from a federal district court in Pennsylvania. It didn't come from a circuit court of appeals, and it didn't come from the United States Supreme Court. So that's what I try to say to people. I'd be very careful before you start using cases, unless you've read the whole case through, unless you're very comfortable with the ruling. And the ruling that was made could be 2 rulings when they're made. It could be a ruling of the dissenting party, and it could be the majority party, the party who actually got leg up in the Supreme Court ruling 5-4. But you can get some great opinions in the dissenting opinions, because all these judges' issues are opinions. So this is what I say to folks, even the United States Supreme Court, all they do is issue opinions. Like the federal government, like the administrator, like the executive branch, they promulgate regulations. And then the legislator, creates statutes. But like I said, all the Supreme Court does is issue opinions. So they send it back down to the district court if the district court judge did something wrong. And even though you went all the way to the Supreme Court, you get it back down to that district court. The same district court can tell you go F off Supreme Court. You're not sitting here. You don't know what's going on. It's going to stay the way I ruled it. Thank you for your opinion. 5-4, 1-9-0. But you know what? Your opinion is not the law of the land. Your opinion is an opinion. There you go. The district court judge can tell them to go F off. Even though you wasted all your life and millions of dollars running up the Supreme Court saying, woohoo, victory, victory. We were all, we can all vote now. We can all get married. Lovely. The state can still say, you know what, that's a lovely opinion, but you know what? We don't care. That's an opinion. It's an opinion. It's not a law. They make opinions. They don't make law. They're not 9 little kings. They make opinions. And they say, people, we recommend that you do it this way. This is our opinion. Just a recommendation now, just an opinion. We're not saying this is the law. But see, they could tell the executive branch of the federal government, or they could tell the legislative branch of the United States government what they need to do. And still the executive branch, like, what's his name? Jackson. Andrew Jackson said, once the Supreme Court has an army behind its ass and drags an army down here and forces me down here in Tennessee what to do, I'll be glad to listen to it. But until the United States Supreme Court musters up an army, I don't know what to tell you. You go F yourself. Because I'm not afraid of you, because you got no power to control me or do anything to me. So you keep your opinions back in your courthouse where they belong, because I'm running the country here, and I don't need your help. I got this covered. All those Indians, they're going to Oklahoma, whether they like it or not. I don't care what treaties we got. I'm telling you, for the safety and security, the well-being of this nation, I'm making an executive order. They're gone. Well, that's not fair. We got treaties there. Well, tough. I got guns. You got a piece of paper, I got a gun. So see, that's how it rolls in this country. You say, hey, that's not fair. You know, that's right. Everybody realizes that. So, this isn't rocket science what we're talking about. But yeah, be careful when you start cases. And like I said, you'll never see me. Oh, that thing that you heard me read sounded an awful lot like the Trinsey opinions you've been reading. Correct. There you go. Okay, back to the other question. That's more like it. Okay, I gotta get my brain back on track here. Right. If you like their opinion, if you like the belief of the Supreme Court or somebody, almost literally copy word for word, so that way it's not called plagiarism. You see what I'm saying? So they can't say, oh, he's relying on our stuff. See, I just pulled you the exact quote out of Pagliaro, out of a 1973 case in Pennsylvania that somebody else used. Nobody used it again. I couldn't find another. If you do Trinsey versus Pagliaro 1964, you do it in the like fine laws, one word, fine law, or Lexus, you'll find a couple of cases, like back in 1964, when they were actually running it through the courts. And then the next one you're going to find is like 1973, somebody used it, and nobody used it again, like 2008. And then they used the Patriot way. But this